I didn't get my wrenches from my pushrod though. You forgot the pushrod wrenches.
Hmm.
Damn, I missed it. So you need one of those. Now I need my other tool over here. I need the right one. Oh, crap. That's the wrong one. Late box takes small wrenches. So what else do I need?
I think that's it.
Sure.
Oh, the magic tool.
Should be two, but they're missing. Okay, we need to turn the motor over to get to the top dead center. Compression stroke. That means I need a screwdriver. Resembles that. What cylinder are we on? How you tell? Don't know. Okay, what push rods are which?
Well, the shorties are exhaust, right? Is that right?
Where'd they go?
On the inside, right?
Which one looks shorter?
Oh, the one on the inside.
This one?
At the back, yeah.
Why is that one shorter?
Why is that one shorter?
Mm-hmm.
Because it has less distance to travel,
Because it's almost straight up and down. This one's angled.
right?
Straight up is always quicker than going at an angle. So this one has to catch up the rocker and going that way, so it takes more length to get there. That's why that one's longer and this one's shorter.
Gotcha.
In case you didn't know. Also, this is your shortest one because it's a direct shot straight down this angle too, whereas this one here is actually angled outhill a little bit. So this is actually your shortest one.
Hmm.
Of course, this is how that works. This is your longest one because it's the furthest away.
Gotcha.
So you got the planes are different by, these lifters are offset here this way. So that changes your height also, as well as being further apart. So that's how you tell them apart, in case you don't know. You don't have to be a genius to figure it out. Let's think about it for a minute. Okay, so you want to make sure you separate your push rods. Those are long, these are shorts. And a couple of these covers over here. A little bit of oil. So these are what, short?
Yeah.
There used to be oil in there at one time. But the only thing this container's good for. So. Alright, so you put that in there, drop that down the hole. Boom. You grab one of the long ones. Used to be some oil in there somewhere. That's the exhaust. Of course you need one of these. There it goes. We're on a roll, so we're going to do the other one too while we're at it. Remember, you already got the O-rings up in there. Don't forget. Boom. All right. Now, are we on the overlap stroke or compression stroke? What's the difference? Yeah, you know the difference. Compression stroke, both valves are closed. Overlap stroke, they're both moving. Valves are still opening, that's why they're on overlap stroke. So you turn the motor over to see what's moving. What's moving? See it?
That.
These are moving, see?
Mm-hmm.
So this is on the overlap stroke right now. Because they're both right at top dead center just about. See how those are not moving?
Mm-hmm.
Even though I'm moving my arm over here. So this is the compression stroke. So you put your Phillips sheet over here, stand it straight up and down until it's all the way up. It just started going down, so I'm going to back it up. See how the sheet over comes up? When it stops, you're there. So this is on compression stroke, top dead center. This one's on almost top dead center, it's on the overlap stroke. So don't do those, do these. That's how you adjust them. Okay, you got any particular reference? So which one goes these where? Any scratches on these yet, or are they still all nice?
Still pretty nice.
So it doesn't matter then. Okay, where is the other one? Doesn't work for some reason. Why?
That'll work.
Makes a difference.
It does.
Okay. Those we're not using. Those we're not using. Okay, head bolts take nice washers. Or big rocker box bits, I should say. Now we have shorts and longs of these things. Do you know why?
I know.
See the height of that? See the height of that one? What's the difference?
I'm going to say one's short and one's long.
There you go. About a quarter inch different. Twin cams use all the same length hardware because they just made the head deeper. So you can put a longer bolt on the short hole and we'll bottom out.
Did we just find an actual benefit of a twin cam motor?
I don't know if that's a benefit, that just gives you a hole that's deeper. There's negatives too. When you got a little bit of oil or something at the bottom, you tighten it up with hydraulics and push the bottom of the head out and it leaks oil.
Mm.
That's a benefit, isn't it? Because they're so thin. Yeah, works great. Remember, everything you do, there's ramifications to it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you got a long and a short. The long one goes right here, short one goes over there where the short one belongs. So these ones we can't tighten down until you got the shelves in. These ones you can. In this case I got everything in there so it doesn't matter. All these things have washers. If you don't have washers on all these bolts, the aluminum will crush and you will screw up the head of the rocker box a little bit up inside. And the bolt will probably loosen up because it's not supported correctly. Then they get loose. Even though that one's going to have a washer, see?
Mm.
Because these do suck through those holes right there. If you get your camera, you can see it's almost the same size as the hole up in there. Well, you should have the washer on there. It spreads it out a little bigger. And all the washers have a dull side and a sharp side. Sharp side always goes down. More surface area. Okay. Now you take your Loctite, start putting it in there. Let's see where that one's at. Usually I start with the big bolts anyway. It's easier. Dumbass. Short bolts on that side. You have to get the gasket where it belongs when you hear the bolts go in, see? If you have to beat the bolts into the hole, then it's probably a problem with the gasket. And most likely it will leak because you got it out of whack. Get all your hardware started. That way you know they're all in there. Don't forget your little 1/4" ones here either. Get 2 of those right there. And 1 right here in the middle. Gasket where it belongs. Put the bolts in. Good job. Now these are adjustable push rods, so I can do both at once. If you got the fixed push rod, you're going to do one at a time. You have to wait for the hydraulics to bleed before you turn the motor over. Be best to wait. A lot less expensive. Unless you want to tear up your new valves. Maybe break a valve guide
How long would you wait?
until they bleed down. You can't turn the push rod with your fingers, don't turn the motor over. If they don't go down after an hour, they're probably never going to go down. If they go down after for 10 minutes, they probably won't go down at all. Usually within 5 minutes is usually the norm, within 5 minutes. If they won't go down, take it all back apart, take the lifters, clean all the oil out, get them where they work up and down. You might have to take the lifter apart to get the oil out, get them where they work, and then put it back together. It's going to bleed down instantly. Just put light oil in there. That's all you need. Okay, so now everything's started right now. We take our 1/4" ratchet set because it's quicker. Run these things on down. Go until they touch and back off. If they don't go down easy, then clean the holes up. Take them out and get all the junk out of the holes. You sure already had all that stuff blown out anyway. I'm not a big fan of running tap down the holes because it screws up the threads. Just clean the dirt out, it'll be fine. See this one has pressure on it?
Yeah.
Push rod's open. See how fast you can do it when you got the right tool there?
Mm-hmm.
You notice I use a long extension, I use it for holding. It's a pivot point, see? It's not as quick as going down here like this, back and forth at the bottom. Bolts do look a little short. Usually Harley bolts are longer than these. I think these are cheaping you up on this set. I think they screwed you on those. Usually got like a 1/2 inch of thread they go down. They didn't do it that time. Okay, now you gotta get valve spring clearance. So usually what I do is I shove the rocker box this way and then I center it between the bolts. Then you look up under here and see what side you need to shift it one way or the other to get a little extra clearance to clear your valve springs. But you're always pushing it. I got steady pressure going that way right now. Then you tighten the bolt down. look up under here and make sure you got room. Doesn't interfere with anything. So on your bike, you got a 1/4 inch gap in here because you have conical springs in here. But on some of the high lift motors with big springs, they're right there. Sometimes you got to grind them a little bit. If you shove the boxes over the right way, most of the time you get away without doing anything. If you don't pay attention, a lot of times it'll hit. So that's why you do it that way. Same thing, you push that way, push it back and forth, center it. Now this one we got some tension over here a little bit, but not too bad. Still shoving on it. Good. It's the only time to look to see if anything's going to clear is right now, so it's time to look. Once you put the lid on there, you can't see nothing. Alright, that part's done. Here's some fancy tools. These are for the rocker box Allens, tight spots. Not a torque wrench. This here, fancy tool for getting down here to do these. Not a torque wrench. This is a torque wrench. This is a torque wrench. This one's preset for 1/4 inch. This is preset for 5/16. Don't mix them. So you put a little torque on them. Do a cross pattern. Then torque them. Here's factory torque, Tatro torque. I use a little bit more than they do. So you can feel the bolt still tightening up, so that's why I keep going. You got grade 8 hardware and they go about that deep into the head, so you get a lot of pulling power. So torque them down. This one here is the small one. Now this I've actually snapped bolts off and got crappy bolts. It's a lot of torque on these ones, but you see, you go until it pops. I got just a little bit more because there's still more available to go. Not much more, just a little bit. Feel the bolts starting to get tight when you get near your torques. Now this one's a 1/4 inch, so you can't tighten it up with this wrench, but it's 3/8 drive is what I got. So that's what I use. This one, you look at the Allen when it's twisting pretty good. You got torque on that sucker. Doesn't matter what size the Allen is, it's proportional. The bigger the Allen, the more torque. Makes sense. If you see a bunch of twisted Allens, you know, someone's got a set where they're all twisted, that means they've been over torquing their hardware big time. Or they got cheap ass Allens. Okay, I'm doing that. Now I got all the bolts tight. Now I got to do the pushrod. Now we haven't turned the motor over yet, so we're still at top dead center. But if in doubt, check. Screwdriver's all the way up. You can also look in there and see it. So this here, you need to get these up out of the way. It'd be nice to have 2 of these. Could have extras. Those are actually the extras. These are the ones I usually use. Okay, so those hold those up. Up out of the way. Okay, now you push the push rod all the way up in the rocker up in here. Right now you can see it in there. That's working. Then you tighten it up down here. Okay, when you get down where it touches the lifter and stop, you're there. Quit tightening. That's a jam nut. Okay, now you go down 18 flats. Get in a comfortable spot and count 18. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. There's 18 flats. Go one extra because when you torque them, you lose one flat. You torque them. If you hold the wrenches correctly, you just squeeze. You just squeeze like that. Push in and give them real quick, like that, real quick. That's tight. Okay, this one here I can already turn it. See? It's not a free spin, but I can turn it. It's good. See, I can collapse it too.
Mm-hmm.
He has a lot of travel in there. Even though I'm down 3 full turns, I still got probably that much more to go. So it lifted out a lot of travel in these ones. Okay, that has no, the oil in there is very thin or it's non-existent, so it doesn't keep it from collapsing. See, this one does the same thing. I can compress it. So when you get to 0, when you find your 0, don't keep tightening it up until you feel like it's getting tight. You're collapsing lift while you're doing that. Just go until the pushrod quits wobbling. See how the pushrod's loose right now?
Right. Now start your
Right there, see how
18.
it's tight? Now you start your 18. Now you can either hold the bottom or you can hold it or turn the top or just turn it. It doesn't matter which one you do. That one we did the bottom, this one we can do the top. Get your jam nut out of the way so it's not in your way. Go 1, 2. Get caught on the 2. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, and 1 extra. Now if you find the pushrod's really loose at this point, you're a dumbass, you went the wrong way. Next thing, when you put the nut all the way up to the top against the pushrod and tighten it down, it's loose, dumbass, because the adjuster's on the bottom up top. This is the bolt, that's the nut. And yes, I have seen that done. So we got no torque and give it a good squeeze. This one's also loose, like where you could have collapsed it, but you can still collapse it. See? Okay, so that one's done. Now we can turn the motor over. So I got this fancy tool that lets me do it. You can also put the compensator nut on here, the sprocket nut, and use a big crescent wrench and turn it over. Doesn't matter how you do it. As long as you turn it over. So right now the valves are going to go open. See the rocker, this one's opening up right now. See, it just went down. Now this one's going to run a compression stroke now. Okay, now you put your pushrod in your screwdriver in here. Use a Phillips because a straight blade, the tip will break off. This one, you don't break, they'll bend. Don't lay it in there like that, it'll bend it. Put it straight up and down as much as you can. See this rocker's working right now over here, it's making it hard to work. So. Actually, that one did open up. Now we're coming up, see? There it's. See, that one's closing it over there, so if you go just a little bit past, it'll stay up. Doesn't have to be exactly top dead center. If you're within 10 or 15 degrees, you're fine. We're going to adjust these ones. Well, these both should be loose now. Okay, they were tight before, remember? Weird. Difference in length and screws between these. See how long these ones are out?
Mm-hmm. Oh, what the hell? They're short.
them up. We know this one's long. It's always possible I screwed up.
It's possible.
1,
You put the two long ones in the front?
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. No, this one has to be long because there's no choice.
Yeah, right.
I can only mix up one of the intakes, not both. See, that's a lot longer. This one sticks up further. Remember I told you it was longer?
Right.
So you see how far that one's out? See how far that one's out? And when I go down my turns, 3 turns, you're going to see 3 threads. Guess what? It'll look like that when we're done. Now if you're off, you'd be off by this much, so it'd be pretty noticeable. Okay, I can see that one. So, this one here, looking where it belongs. This one's already right at the limit. Already? That's it. Drop it. Get the dirt off before you put any push on. Dirt pad. Okay, as you come from the back side to hold it's easier. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, and one more. Over the bottom. Yep, squeeze. See, it's a lot easier doing a squeeze and try to do this to tighten them. And also when you're doing it like this, you're trying to bend the push rod. When you're doing it this way, you're not.
Right.
You got more control. Okay, that one moves. So all of these move. So all the lifters are bled down. They're not, they don't have much in them. So that one works. That one works. And now look at the lifters. See, the push rods are more or less equal length now. These two. This one here is a lot shorter here distance, so it's not as much as this one is. That's how they make them. That's why they have 4 different lengths, push rods, when they're fixed length. They do vary. Put some oil up there. Okay, so now you just turn the motor over. Now we're not going to have full lift on the motor because the push rods are bleeding down so much. So this is not really a full test, but at least you cycle it, make sure nothing goes pop, bang, or does something stupid. If you had a saw lifter motor, it would be turned full length. With hydraulics, it bleeds down. Unless they don't bleed very much, it'll be alright. Okay, so that all works. So I'm going to leave that right there for now. No reason to turn it over anymore. No, I've only had a couple motors in my life that the rocker arms actually hit the boxes up inside. It has happened. I guess you can always turn it over again once you put those up on there to make sure they don't hit anything, but like I said, it's pretty rare. Okay, now we gotta get all the O-rings in here now, because now we gotta seal them up. So now we need all this junk. So these go in the middle, that's pretty obvious. This stuff's made to go on dry, no sealers. You gotta put sealers in there, you got something wrong. Get better parts. So you have this one here, you got that one there. 2 different ones. You have to figure out which one's which. Which one's which?
I do. The one without the boxes goes on the top. The boxes go on top. There you go.
So you have the breather cavity.
Yeah.
You know, so that's upside down?
Yeah, front and rear.
No, it's upside down. Straight edge, round edge.
Yeah.
So it goes like this on the motor. Now, you notice we don't have umbrella seals in here. Gotta put
Umbrella
these in.
seals.
Gotta put those in there. Okay, so the non-breather part of the rocker box gasket, which is this one, goes on the bottom. So you got a straight edge and a curved edge. You have to figure out which one goes where. Now, if you can't get these things to stay down there, put a little grease in there. Let the grease help you hold it in. Don't put sealer on it. So that one fit in there pretty good. That's good. Sometimes they fight with you. Okay, so which one of these you want to go where? Does it matter? Where do you want this defect to go?
Yeah, I think there's a nick in each one.
That's got a big chunk of crap sticking out. This one's nice and smooth all the way around. So this is your leading edge, that big defect
Mm-hmm. On the inside, right?
right here. This one looks good through that area. The defect's over here. Where's the other defect you got?
Yeah, rear.
It's up in here, so
Yeah.
I'm gonna put them like that. Okay, so we gotta put the umbrella seals in the right spot. The breather's not here, it's over here. So if this is gonna go here, you gotta put the breather right here, not here.
Mm-hmm.
It won't do anything if it's over there. So these have a little chingus that pops in.
Christmas tree.
Yep. So you can stick it in there like that, you can pull on this thing a little bit, it'll go in. Now if you put a little bit of lube on there, it goes easier. Duplicate the hole up a little bit. Take a pair of flat bill pliers. Pull on it. Wiggle around a little bit, it comes through. You can feel it actually engage in, and it's in there all the way. See, it flops up, but it seals down. So all looks good. Drop it down there. It should be down evenly. If there's a gap up here like this on one side, like that, then that means the O-ring's not where it belongs. It should be close and equal all the way around. Got it? So go over here. Easy pushing on it doesn't really make it come through. Pulling on it does. You just wiggle it around back and forth. You can feel it pop in when you do that. It's in. It's in the wrong spot. Okay, those are nice and even. Good. Okay, now we got these ones. Same thing, got a flat and a curve. So it doesn't want a little bit off to the inside. Get the hook on the inside, it'll stay down where it belongs. So if you got to put a little grease in there, you do, but most of the time you don't. Actually, you can spread the O-ring out so it goes at an angle like that, and it'll actually stay hooked in there. And when you tighten it down, it pushes flat. If you don't understand that, you'll figure it out when you try doing it. Okay, what's going on there?
That's not so good.
It's warped. Well, the O-ring's not in there.
No way. Ah, it's the O-ring. O-ring out of place.
It was sitting on top of the lip on this side, on the inside. You push it over, drop it in, make sure it all backs in, drop it down, it's flat again. See, now it's back there flat, because it wasn't doing it the first time I put it up. See, you can tell when they're not in there. This one here I had to buckle it out a little bit to make it pop in. So you can usually feel it with your fingers when you go around, when you got problems. So right now the gasket's kind of bowed up like this a little bit because I got it pushed in. If you don't do that, then the lip will catch on the edge here, and then it'll stick up in the air. And when you try to tighten it down, it'll tighten up. It'll be a big gap, and it'll look like a sieve. I think it's all together, but it ain't. Then you get to take it back apart again. Okay, this cover's sitting flat. It's all good. And these inner ones are the worst because you can't see them. But yours are pretty good. They're all real tight. Okay, are there any defects on these?
Yes.
Besides that rub mark? That big nick in there?
That's the nick. That's the one that's nicked.
So, on an fxr, I don't think you can see the back of the box anyway too much, can you?
No.
Actually, that's the front of the box. That is in the front corner. So this defect here is going to be at the top up here. Why don't you file the nick down before you coated it?
Oops.
So these are sitting flat. Now, sometimes you can kind of rub the box back and forth a little bit and it'll pop in if it's not in all the way. So you just kind of rub them around a little bit. Anyway, this one's in there pretty good.
Yeah, those oil rings are nice.
Yeah, sometimes they fight with you, sometimes they don't. This one's not too bad. Okay, these are the format material seals and not the stupid paper ones that came with the kit. These stupid ass things here that like to split. As soon as you put any torque on these things, they split. They're worthless. They tighten the piss out of these things, but these are a piece of crap for underneath. So this is the format material, same stuff these in the primary covers. You got the metal in the middle, so it can't split, and then you got the foamy material on the outside. So these are the good ones. And these are only Cycle Gasket makes this one. I don't know why other people don't do it, but I used to use those hard mica ones or something like that, the red ones, but they would split too at times. The other thing that helps is you torque these down, this little thin ass wash they got will cup, and it'll cause a problem. Putting the brass in there doesn't do a damn thing. I don't use them. If you want to put a good wash in there, you put a nice thick heat treated washer in there. That's usually what I use. But you're using stock bolts, and that will back this. That'll give you a nice straight pull on the gasket. If you pull straight on the gasket, it doesn't tend to split as much. It can still split. Now this has Loctite on it already, supposedly. I know this is Loctite. It's definitely got Loctite in it. Don't forget the gasket on there. Like I said, I never use those stupid ass copper things. They're a joke. The copper washer is for when the paper one takes a crap and splits out, then the copper is supposed to work. Copper washers do not make a very good oil seal. That's why they don't use them without the gasket material under them. If you have extra gaskets, you know you'd left one out. I've been there before. Could put them on here. Doesn't matter where you put it, as long as you know it's there when you're done. 2-on-1 is not good. Still leaks.
Not twice the sealing power?
Well, that one might seal, but the problem is the one that's supposed to be on wasn't there. It leaks. Done that too.
Oh man.
Usually one back here on the fxr where you can't get to the bolt. Yeah, that's the one.
That's the one to do it to?
Yeah, Softails have the same issue.
Mm.
It's not just fxrs. Softail, you actually go through a hole in a frame, so everything drops out while you put it through the hole. Then it drops in the tube and you can never get it out again. That's a great design.
The joy.
So where's the missing bolt at? There it is. Yes, if your Softail is a vibration and rattling noise, you can't figure out what it is, it's probably a bolt or two. inside the frame.
Yeah.
Great engineering there. Okay, those are all locked at it in. Okay, now we can tighten those up. So you just go down till you get light pressure on it. Okay, now if you just tighten it down right now, it looks like crap. So it helps if you kind of move things around a little bit. I like using my plastic hammer to adjustments. That one doesn't want to get too close. Yeah, this one doesn't want to get covered up. Closer. So this one doesn't want to go where it wants to be. So this one I'm going to push on it when I'm tightening it. Try to take up that gap as much as I can. This one here is not too bad. A little pressure on it. You got a lot of compression here, so do a little at a time. Don't do all in one bolt hole. Each time you tighten it down, you come back and play with it a little bit. See, this has a big high spot here with low everywhere else. It's better to have a low spot than a big high spot, I think. About as good as I can get that. As you go a couple of times, something like that, 2.5, whatever. That one's still torquing. This one here was still tight. That one's tight. That one just tightened up. That one's tight. Now that one's all the way down. So this is your last chance to do any beating. Okay. These have a torque on them too. Tight is usually a good torque for me. You can feel them just getting solid and they don't want to torque anymore. It's probably a good torque. You can always come back and re-hit these again later because like I said, the gaskets will settle. As close as I can get that one. We'll leave the fuzz out of that one, okay? So you can kind of see what looks the best right now before you torque them down. same high spot right there. This one fits a little better than that one. This one, this corner back here is your worst. Just makes this corner off a little bit. See, there's a big high spot there. You try to make this leading edge the best you can get it, and then you go by the edges here. The other side doesn't matter as much, you can't see it. It's not really that important. About as good as you can get. See, when I slow down, that's when the torque starts kicking in. See, it goes pretty quick, then it gets tight. See, put steady pressure on it. So once it quits moving much, then you go a little bit more, and that's torqued. It's better to have a feel than an actual true number you're doing. Like I said, this one over here just doesn't look as good. See the whole line sticking up. It's high on both sides. Alright, can't do much about that. Alright, so that's how that is. I'm going to turn the motor one more time, make sure that nothing hits on the inside. So I've only had that happen a couple times, but it doesn't hurt to check. There you go. Alright, so that works pretty good. So, good stopping point on that. Next thing you do is put the damn spark plugs in here so nothing drops in that motor. We haven't got your plug yet, have we? So, we gotta find the spark plugs. We get the manifold in there, and we gotta put your covers on. Now, you like these stupid S&S covers, don't you?
Oh yeah.
They suck. Problem with this is there's no way to put them in without chewing them up too much. See, my normal screwdriver doesn't fit. See, it won't slide over it.
Mm.
The thin one, which goes in between, is a lot thinner than it needs to be, so it actually starts to peel the cover up a little bit with the pressure on it. So you kind of need something in between, which we don't have.
You haven't made a tool for that?
No, because I don't like them. If you use the Harley tool, it's not a problem. Okay, you make sure you got it all the way up inside the push rod, nipping the O-ring, there. Send them all the way up. Here, pop. Make sure the bottom ones in. See, the bottom ones are not in yet. Push them down in the bottom. Pay attention on those. Back, put the tops up in there. And then you try this. So pick the worst one. So that is a titty right there. It's always screwed up. We'll put that on top because we'll make a new one down here. Okay, see how much compression you got on this thing? Not a lot.
Got it.
That's not very good. There's no tension on that thing. These clips are not the right length. What are these off of? They should have about this much compression on them.
That's not good.
They can come out. It makes it easy to put together though. See, that one's there's nothing on that one either. I only got one finger I can push and I can put it in easily. With this powder coat, see, it wants to pop out. It's not staying in there as good. You know what you do? You take the top and bottom of the unit and you try to rotate them. a little bit. I can barely move them. Then that'll center up all the O-rings. If the cover wasn't in, all of a sudden it'll pop. It'll pop up in. There we go. So you gotta make sure that's pushed in all the way too. All right, so that goes in there. Bottoms are in. Put that up in there. Pop, pop, comes in. I'm just squeezing that tube, I'm not even on top. Just squeezing. Those are weak. This has tits on both. Yes, you can see your cover through there too. You get that nice shiny aluminum spot. So you can go near the grease marker and blacken that out if you want. Alright, I don't think much of those, but it's not my bike, I don't have to deal with it.
Nice.
Yeah, that's it for now on that one.